How to implement custom controls in Roblox Studio. Have you ever wanted to create your own unique controls in Roblox Studio? Well, you are in the right spot. Let's break down how to implement custom controls step by step. To get started, you will need to create a local script. This script goes inside the Starter Player folder, specifically in Starter Player Scripts. This is where you can override the default player control scripts. By doing this, you can define your own input handling and movement logic. First, copy the default control script from Roblox's player scripts to your Starter Player Scripts folder. This will serve as a great base for your custom controls. Next, you will want to remove or comment out the default key bindings that you do not need. For example, if you want to change the arrow keys or the WASD keys, make sure to comment those out. However, keep any actions you want to retain, like jump. Now, it's time to write your own functions for handling input actions. For instance, you can create functions to move the character forward, backward, or sideways. You will then need to update the character's movement based on these inputs. To do this effectively, you can use Roblox's Context Action service. This service allows you to bind input actions to your custom functions, making it easier to manage input states. For example, you can set up functions that listen for key presses. When a key is pressed, these functions will update movement variables. You can then apply these variables to the character's velocity or position. If you want to add features like sprinting or dashing, you can expand your input handling logic to include these actions. If you plan to support different input devices, such as keyboards, gamepads, or touchscreens, you will need to write separate handlers. The default controls in Roblox support these devices, but your custom scripts will require specific programming for each type. Here are some practical steps to follow. 1. Insert a remote event in replicated storage if you need to send input data between the client and server. 2. Create a local script in Starter Player Scripts to capture player inputs. 3. Use Context Action service to bind keys or buttons to your custom functions. 4. Update the character's movement or animations based on the input received. 5. Optionally, customize the camera or other player experience elements to fit your new control scheme. This method allows both beginners and experienced developers to tailor the gameplay experience. Whether you want simple movement changes or complex control systems, you can achieve it with just a few lines of code. Implementing custom controls in Roblox Studio is all about replacing or extending the default control scripts. By using Roblox's scripting APIs, you can effectively detect player input and control the character's movements and actions.